Hi guys, this is Chelsea and this is my Module 5 practice, my activity description. Alright, as you saw in my figure 6.4, my main topic is natural hazards and their impact on human populations. So to activate prior knowledge, I would first have students write down all natural disasters that come to mind, and I'd give them a minute or so to do that. Then I would have them choose one and circle it. And I'd like them to then list the negative impacts that that natural hazard has on the environment, on the human populations that might live there, and the animal populations. And I'd have them share that with a partner. Then, jumping into this specific activity, I would show a short YouTube video that introduces the flooding in Bangladesh and some of the negative impacts that has on the people that live there. Then I would jump into the design challenge. You can see here that I would present it as students are working for practical action and have been asked to design a fish cage for the people of Bangladesh. In one of the earlier modules, if you watched my video on my floating garden activity, it came from the same website, and this was just another one I thought of, so I thought it'd be fun to develop that for this module. I think it's important to set some criteria, but you might want to adjust that depending on your grade level. But for third grade, my criteria that I have listed there is that one, the fish cage must be enclosed so that the fish cannot escape. Students will have to calculate surface area so they know how much netting to ask for, so we're not wasting a bunch of netting. I'd like students to make sure that at least 1 inch of their fish cage floats and remains above water so the fish are able to come up for extra air if they need. And their fish cage must be able to fit inside of the test tank. So they'd have to model the fish cage as they're working and make sure that the length and the width are less than 8 inches. During the exploration phase of the design process, students will really be looking at what materials are going to work best and what shape design might make a better fish cage. And specifically, students are going to look for materials that help the fish cage to be buoyant and provide stability. After students have completed their design, they will communicate their results with the class, going step by step through their design process. They will also then self-assess their design and their engineering design process using a rubric that was created by the class. And then students will have to discuss the merit of a specific design solution, including and citing evidence as to why they feel that way. And on the right there, you can just see that's a real picture taken from Practical Action's website of the actual fish cage design that engineers created. All right, at the culmination of the activity, just two really important connecting questions that I would want to use to expand students' thinking. I would want students to think more about what natural hazards affect their community and in what ways. And I would also want them to think about other natural hazards that don't necessarily exist in the United States, but that other human populations do have to deal with and their negative impacts. And to take the activity one step further, on Practical Action's website, they have an area where you can donate money, and that money goes towards sending over a fish cage or more than one fish cage to families in Bangladesh. And so I would have students work together to brainstorm some ideas of ways that we could maybe as a class raise money to donate to the families of Bangladesh and hopefully provide at least a couple fish cages. So that kind of makes the cross-cutting connection to community service. All right, and that's about all I have for you. Thanks for listening. There's my resources.